Well, folks, there's the shirt. And I'm in my Father's house. I'm fixing to sit back in this chair, and I'm going to say a few words. Yep, I am right here in my Father's house. I am, who am I? That's what's on the shirt. Yep. And today is Tuesday. And today is the day of salvation. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. Those are words that you can find in a history book. Today is the day of salvation. The day of salvation will come to an end because God has already said so. And somebody said, well, Bob, you don't really know what you're talking about. Well, I may not know what I'm talking about, but I might. The day of salvation, the today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart, will come to an end. The moment that the Son of Man appears. The Son of Man, I am a Son of Man. The Son of Man that I'm talking about, there was one who said, who do you say that the Son of Man is? And some say this and some say that. And Jesus said, who do you say that I am? And that's when Simon Peter said what he said. And then if you have a history book, I have a history book. It's right here. This is the history book. And it says on the front, if you can read it, it says, the Holy Bible is not the final authority. Yes, I am the one that put, this on the Bible. I did it all by myself. I didn't have any help. Jesus didn't have any help. And he couldn't help it when the day came for him to meet John at the river. Now, Jesus had heard about John for years. I mean, his mother was really good friends with Elizabeth. But John didn't grow up where Jesus did. Jesus grew up in Nazareth, and John lived in the wilderness. And John ate. It says his diet, he enjoyed locusts and wild honey. And when he came to town, he didn't come to town all dressed up in a big suit. No, he didn't. And he didn't come to town until the word of the Lord had come to him in the wilderness. And I don't know how this word of the Lord came to him, whether it was God himself, that appeared to John, or if God sent an angel, like he had sent from heaven to talk to John's father, Zacharias. I mean, God can do what God wants to do. If God wants to appear and walk on the earth with two angels, he doesn't have a problem doing it. If he wants to stay in heaven on the throne, he doesn't have a problem doing it. And some people today have a problem with the word of the Lord. I mean, they have a bad problem with it. I mean, they will shake it off faster than a duck can shake off water after he comes, gets out on the bank. Yeah. There was one day Jesus was going to Jerusalem. Folks, this was 2,000 years ago. This was over 2,000 years ago. Jesus was going into Jerusalem. And there was a ruler in Jerusalem. And there was a ruler in Egypt when Moses, was born. I mean, if you people have not looked at the history book, to find out who was born when and where they lived and what they did, you really are behind. I'm talking about way behind. And if somebody has come up and told you that all you got to do is this, you can probably just write that off right quick as this is not true. And I don't want to go too long on these videos, so I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to start it again. And all it takes is a touch. Watch the touch. You will see this one end, and then in a moment, another one will begin.